Hello, hello, beautiful people. My name is Kelsey. This reading is for twin flames and anyone looking to balance the masculine and feminine energy within themselves. We're going to be looking at the balance between the two energies first, and then asking some questions intuitively about the masculine and feminine individually. My dog just came in to say hello. So I was inspired by another reader that I recently started watching, and I am forgetting her channel name, but I will post it down below just because I want to give credit where credit is due as far as just the basic starting format for this reading. We're going to look at the heart chakra, crown chakra, and root chakra of the energies combined of the union energy, and then we'll look at individual energies, and I like to just ask questions intuitively, what I feel called to ask about or get clarification about. So for starting, I've cleared the air and I've saged and I've asked my guides and the angels and ascended masters to come be in the room with me here to guide this reading, to bring their message forward. So first we're asking about the union energy and about the heart chakra. And I do like to let the cards fall out, so sometimes it can take a moment. If I need to select cards, I will, but I do like to let them fall out if they can. Okay, so right off the bat, we definitely have some blockages in my heart, and I'm seeing, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have this spirit fruit fly that literally it comes to tell me that I'm like doing the right thing. So we're doing the right thing here today. That's good. Okay, and so for the crown, we have Page of Wands. So there could be some new insights, new information, possibly some downloads from the divine coming in for both sides. And for the root, let's see, root chakra, energy of the union. The Tower reversed. Also, this is my first reading that I'm recording, and so I'm just kind of going to explain a little bit about my style as I go along, just in case, you know, just for clarity. I do use reversals, but sometimes I'm intuitively guided not to use them, so it just depends. I think what I'm seeing here is there's some blocks to the heart, and kind of going off of my own situation, I feel that we might need to be balancing our finances or possibly our value systems. Some of the earth energy needs balance in order to clear these blocks, and that can go for both sides. We are getting insights, so there's some forward movement here in the crown, but the root is really, I mean, the tower and the root is, I think I'm going to actually get clarification on that, but the tower and the root is telling me that we're really breaking down old ways of being. I mean, the root is the first chakra, it's the foundation, and it's being broken down. So we're breaking down the old and really starting something new. So let's just look at the sides actually. So what is being broken down for the feminine energy, for the divine feminine, this tower energy? What is being broken down by this tower energy? What is it that is collapsing in her? And again, this can go for the energies inside of all of us. We all have masculine and feminine, so however this reading resonates is how you're meant to hear it. Okay, so there's been some stepping away for the feminine. They've had to leave a lot behind, and this is unknown territory that they're heading into. So I think that what's collapsing is kind of just the old life paradigm, and they're having to step into the new, and it's very unknown. This is nighttime in the card, so it could be that we're looking at a little bit of darkness, stepping through the darkness, I would say. But I get a general positive vibe from this card because it does suggest that we're moving somewhere, which is good. So let's go ahead and stick with the feminine side, I think, and ask about what this heart block is. Okay, so we've got the Hierophant, which is all about spirituality. And I think what it's telling me is that she's having difficulty getting her spiritual message across through the heart. She has this knowledge now. She's been given the knowledge, the spiritual wisdom, and I think within the union, she might be the wiser of the two at this time. And she wants to share this with the masculine, but there's a block. So she's not able to share the way that she would like. And my crystals are all up in my way here, so let's just rearrange as we go along. And then let's look at the crown. So what is this new information, this new insight, this new communication, news? Page of Wands is all about news, and fire energy is obviously powerful and forward moving. So Judgment. This card to me is all about how you judge yourself, which I think goes along with self-worth. So there could be some hang-ups here with divine feminine maybe attaching her self-worth too much to the union. She knows the union is coming, and I've got a clarifying card that just wanted to come out, which is the reverse Nine of Cups, which to me always suggests greed. The Nine of Cups upright means you kind of have it all. You've got it all here, you've got it all together, you've collected your resources, and you're kind of set. But when it's reversed, it always suggests to me a block to that energy, or kind of the opposite, which I feel is maybe greed, or maybe you don't feel like you have everything you need to move forward in the union. We're definitely gonna have to look at the masculine side here because that will offer some clarity. I think that there's a little bit of like self-worth attached to the union and attached to her wanting the union so much. She has this knowledge in her heart and she wants to share it. She wants to bring the good news. But she's having to deal with this judgment and this kind of, this could also be a sense of lack. So maybe she doesn't, even though she knows she has this knowledge in her heart, she's still working on walking away from some old stuff and on a new adventure, and that can be a little scary. So she's maybe wants to share but is having to deal with her own self-worth issues right now. And so we're gonna get clarifying cards for the masculine on all of these chakras. We'll start back with the root. So we got the 10 of Pentacles, which is all about family and abundance, and you can see it's a family, they're celebrating. Okay, I'm gonna get some clarification on this. King of Swords, which is all about insight, knowledge, truth. Actually, this could be, this can often talk about the couple, and so in twin flame union readings we might think, oh, there's going to be a reunion, but that's not what this question was about. This might be that he's got a strong family foundation to lie on, and while things are breaking down, he might be relying on this family energy and actually getting some insights from the family, which in my situation completely resonates, but I have like no idea what's going on with my divine masculine, so, you know, other than that he's with family for the holidays, so take that as you will. That's definitely very different than the feminine energy for the root here, and I'm glad that the masculine has some support, it seems like. So let's go ahead and look at his heart chakra. What's going on with the divine masculine's heart chakra? What's going on with the divine masculine's heart? This card wanted... So this is the star, this is Aquarius, this is me, but this reading is for everyone, so I'm not trying to look at my own situation. But this is somebody that, it could be an Aquarius that is in this union, but if that doesn't resonate with you, Aquarian energy is all about truth. So he has got the truth on his heart, and he is starting to look at the truth, probably of the situation, and she's also, I mean, she's the water bearer. She's bringing nourishment. She's bringing water. She's bringing life. So this, you know, assuming that this is also speaking of some of the divine feminine on his heart, then he sees her as the truth. And strength. So I want to get a little clarification on the block, because maybe he doesn't feel like he can quite accept the truth quite yet. He needs to be strong to accept the truth, and that's, I don't need another clarification. That's what that's telling me. So let's look at his crown. What's going on with divine masculine's crown? I hope this is still recording. Ace of Swords. So knowledge and insight is really happening for the masculine. He's starting to understand, and all of these cards are very positive on his side. I'm actually a little surprised about this, but my guides brought me a message recently that me as a divine feminine soul expression really needs to focus on balancing their internal energies, which is part of the reason why I was called to do this reading, because I've been seeing a lot of readings out there saying, you know, the divine masculine is getting ready and the feminine has been ready, and I think while that's very encouraging, we need to understand that this is always a work in progress, and the feminine needs to continue to look at what she's dealing with in her situation, what she's walking away from, and her balance within herself. I think in her heart she has the balance, but maybe in the crown and the root she is still balancing these energies within herself. So let's ask what the divine feminine can do to achieve more balance within herself between the masculine and feminine energies within herself. So what does she need to do? She needs to stop fighting. I always see this card, I'm a very internal person, so I always see this card as an inner conflict, although it's meant to mean any kind of conflict. It's not a heavy kind of conflict. It is competition. There's some competition in the divine feminine. And let's get clarification. So what is she fighting within herself? Or what is she fighting with in the external? What is she fighting with? Please show us what the divine feminine is fighting with right now. She feels like there's been some injustice. This could go back to past lives. This could go back to karma between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Obviously, we know twin flames, they have a lot of past life karma. We're incarnated here to reunite, but that process takes a lot of internal work, and part of that internal work includes healing past life wounds and finding balance within your past life. And just to share a little bit of my story, I have very recently undergone a huge awakening, which was triggered by reuniting with my twin. And I'm not someone that's been used to looking at past lives. I've always thought that there's enough in the current life to look at, that, you know, it's just a little too much to think about past lives. But I've also been doing healing work for many years, and I had a traumatic childhood, which I've been healing. And so I actually have been having some flashbacks into past lives, and I've been drawn to information about past lives. So I think this is really a theme for the feminine, that she needs to realize that what she sees in front of her in this plane, in the 3D, is not all there is. There's a need to heal some past life, and that's causing this inner conflict, and that's causing this block. So it's very important that she looks at this, and whatever way that you can find to do this, whether you go into meditation, go see a professional. I've seen that there's hypnotists that will do past life work with people. However you can access this information to integrate and do healing in that realm, I think is very important for the divine feminine at this time. Well, let's see what's going on within the... This is the only problem with asking questions freely, is I forget what I'm asking on one side, so forgive me. But we're just gonna go ahead and ask what is blocking, I think that's my question. What is blocking the masculine? What is blocking the masculine here? And we're gonna go ahead and just move these a little under, because we know what they are and we don't need them to take up all our space here. I only got this small little table going on. Okay, so let's find out what is blocking the masculine from the union, especially in their heart space here. Okay, so these two cards both came out. So we had the reverse Knight of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So this upright is all about making an offer, especially in emotions, or receiving an emotional offer. But it's reversed as suggesting that he wants to do this, but there's still something blocked. He wants to have this home, this reunion, this family, this bond, partnership. The Ten of Cups is a super positive card. So I'm not actually seeing where the block is here, other than he's not quite making, maybe he's not quite making the offer, or he's expecting the feminine to make the offer and it's not happening yet. So let's get some clarification on maybe what's stopping the offer. I'd really like to know if it's from the masculine or feminine, but I do think that based on the messages I've been receiving from other readers, that the masculine is the one to make the offer, but we could be shifting. The energy can always change, so you never know. You don't want to base things off of past readings for too long if you're getting new information. I find that things shift constantly. So what is blocking the gift here? What is blocking this emotional offering and this gift of the cups? This gift of abundance, this gift of love, partnership, emotion. What is blocking? And you see I keep asking about blocks, so I know there's some blocks here. I mean, when you're not in union, then you've got blocks to work through. So what is the block? What is the block to this abundant energy? And I'm not getting any cards popping out, so I'm going to reframe the question. How can the masculine get comfortable or feel secure or get to the place of making this move here? And I got 3 cards that popped out, so we're gonna take those as they are. So since these fell onto the floor, this is kind of one case where I don't want to take the reversals because I don't actually know. I've been getting the Chariot a lot. So we have Page of Swords, Ace of Wands, and the Chariot. And these 2 were reversed, so we can kind of, you know, again, I always just think that it's like it's like this is the energy that's coming, but it's not quite here yet. Whereas like anything that's upright is already here. So we're already moving steadily. There's a sense of movement and free spirit. There's a little bit of immaturity here. Just a little. Maybe it's like he has this information, but he's maybe not quite like able to express it from his current state. If this is him, if this is personifying him, then he might be a little bit too free-spirited, winging it, kind of, you could say. So, but the knowledge is here and he's moving, like there's steady movement. So I think the Divine Feminine just needs to be patient. I would love to know what he's planning. Love to know. But I think we need to move back over to the feminine. We need to figure out what she's offering. What energy is she offering to the masculine right now? Because we've seen that the masculine is going to wants this. He wants this. He wants to make an offer. And a lot of positive cards on this side. So I think we need to really focus in on what the feminine is needing here. Or actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the masculine. I'm gonna say, what does the masculine need from the feminine in order to bring this energy forth? Because I feel like he's waiting on her to do something, or to be something, or to heal something. So what is it that the feminine needs to do? Okay, again, really like in the context of my own life. This card is all about receiving money when it's upright, and when it's reversed, you're not receiving what you're due, or you get money that you can't keep. There's money flow issues. So, I mean, as kind of like 3D as this is, which, you know, it's totally how it works, we have to like live on this plane while we're here and really like interact with it. So if you're having money issues, if your finances are not balanced, if you're finding that money keeps coming and going, this is what's blocking. This is what's blocking the divine masculine from making an offer to the feminine. So work on your finances and really focus on the physical right now, because especially if you're not in union and the divine masculine is away, this is a perfect opportunity to really focus in on yourself, focus in on the practical details of your life. We have the sun that's going to move into Capricorn right at the solstice on the 21st, and then the next day we have new moon in Cancer, which I do want to do a separate reading on. We have a lot of energy that's calling us to have structure, and then I also learned that we're going to have a solar eclipse in January in Capricorn. So we're really needing to focus in on the Capricorn. We have Saturn there, we have Pluto there for a while. So the Capricorn energy calls us to have stability, have structure, to really ground our lives so that we can expand, because Capricorn knows what she's doing when she has all of her stuff lined up, but she needs to have that structure in order to put her greatness forward. And we got this Page of Pentacles, I hope you can see it over here. It did come reversed. I didn't ask a question with it, so I'm just gonna kind of take it here. I think that she wants to offer something. She wants to have, and it's even a pentacle, so it could be, she wants to have more value and money and finances to offer. This page is really carefree. She wants to have that energy, and since it was reversed, and again going with the, what is this, the six of pentacles together, she needs to balance her finances and get her life together in order for this union to happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and offer a little more insight on how we could do that, just so it's really clear. So what does she need to embody? What does the Divine Feminine need to embody to get this balance back in her earthly realm? What does she need to balance her finances and her values? And again, I also think of earth energy and pentacles as, or anything that's attached to money and finances. I always think of value and self-value. Value, like your values that you hold, which we showed here, is she's having to look at her own self-worth and her own value of herself, and not feeling necessarily like she has it all together. So there's definitely some balance that needs to come here. So we're asking, what can she do to balance this? This came out reversed, but it really, the sun is the sun. Focus on the light and feel how supported she is. The sun is the life giver. She is supported, and she does know this. She feels the spiritual energy, but she hasn't quite embodied this understanding and this belief. So she just needs to really focus on the light, focus on her light, focus on channeling the light, being light, and bringing light to her physical reality in whatever way that manifests for you. However this is resonating, whatever you feel like you need more balance on in this physical reality, this is what this card is telling you. You need to bring light to it, and light can be illumination, as in understanding and insight, but it's also like all about, I mean, this, look at this naked baby on a horse. Like, it's all about just abundance, nourishment, just being totally free. So she just needs to really embody this kind of sun energy. And I'm feeling that there's still some blocks to this. It's kind of an energy of, okay, but then what? Okay, but how do I do that? So let's ask, how do we bring the light in? How do we bring this sun energy in? How do we bring in the sun to our reality to help bring this balance? Or what is blocking the sun from shining through totally for the feminine? What is blocking the sun for the feminine? And again, this is for both sides. It's not just the male or masculine embodied person and the feminine embodied person that needs to work on this side and this side. It's about balancing the energies in ourselves. So this could very well go for the masculine side of balancing his feminine side with having this light and getting those feminine values in check. That could be a possible meaning of this as well. And that goes, I mean, it's for both. So, and we know that we've been in a patriarchal society and that the feminine has been repressed. So, of course, there's going to be some imbalance here. Of course, there's going to be some conflict. There's going to be some need for healing. So, I just want to know how she can bring more sun into her life. Some practical ways. Obviously we see that we need to balance finances. But can you give us any more insight into how to bring in this light? How could she bring in this light? So this is the Nine of Wands. He's battle worn, but he's succeeded. But he's still vigilant. He's watching out. So she's probably afraid of being hurt, to be honest. She's really afraid of being hurt in this situation. She doesn't want to relive the past. She doesn't want to have the same experiences that she's had in the past with men or masculine identified individuals. And so she is feeling like she is still protecting herself with this wand, and this is what we need to let go of. This need of self-protection, because we know that the universe has our back. We know that God is with us. We know that the light is the truth, that it's going to prevail always, but we're still holding on because we've been so hurt. So this is where the healing needs to be, and we talked about past lives, so if you need to go back there, please do so. Please focus on your own healing, feminine, because the masculine is ready. They want to have this. They want to move forward, and they are planning, but she's still got blocks. And the thing about twin flames is, even if nothing is said, it can be felt. So if you're saying one thing, if you're saying I want union to the masculine or even to your guides or whatever, but you still have this block in your heart or in your being, then it's not going to come through. He's going to sense this energy. He can sense this energy. So we need to really focus on our own healing. And I think that is the message. I think the last questions I'm going to ask for both sides, just because it feels like the right way to close this reading, is asking what each side wants for the other. So what does the masculine want for the feminine? What does he desire for the feminine to pursue, to achieve, to have, to be? And we're always talking about to go towards union. So what does he want for the feminine? What does the masculine desire for the feminine? What does the masculine desire for the feminine? Seven of Pentacles. He wants to see her nurturing her work, doing her work. Really, I mean, he's proud and things are growing. This is a work in progress. He's farming. He's having to toe the fields. Is that even the right word? No. He's gardening, right? But he's growing this. So he knows that she's growing this, and he wants her to just keep focusing on growing her own stuff, her own projects, her own values, her finances again. He wants her to focus on the growth there. So let's ask for the feminine. What does the feminine want for the masculine? What does the feminine want for the masculine? Fell onto the floor. She feels like he's being a little selfish. She would like him to give a little more, which is fair. I think we can have different beliefs and desires for each other. We can see different parts of each other, and that's what makes this kind of a relationship so beautiful, is because we're able to mirror things that the other person might not necessarily see in themselves, but which, could be part of their reality. So she definitely feels like, we can see that he wants to give from all of this energy that we saw on his side. But he's waiting for her to just really focus on herself. And she's feeling like he's being selfish. Which is funny because he wants her to focus on herself. So just take that message, feminine. I think we really need to hear that and really need to work on ourselves and focus on our lives, our physical reality, bring balance where it is. And even though we feel like the divine masculine's not giving us what we want, realize that we're the ones with all the blocks right now. And this is an ever-evolving process, so this is just for the current moment. And this can, I'm saying this at the end, but this can be whenever you're watching this. You can take the message, because I'm posting this for December, but if you find it later on, then the message is meant for you. Then this is, you know, take what you will. And if it doesn't resonate, then don't take it. It's just about, you'll know once you get in touch with your intuition enough. If you feel resistance to the message, then look at your blocks. But if you really just feel like this is not working for me, I don't even want to be here, this is not the message for you. So, yeah, she feels like he's being selfish, and I always have more questions, so I always want to get clarification cards, but she needs to realize that he has her best interest at heart, and just take that with you. I'm not going to draw a clarifying card for this, because I know that it's my own sense of resistance to this idea. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope this was helpful. I am going to be posting more readings. I have a lot of plans for developing my gifts and sharing them with you, so please stay tuned. If you like this video, if you resonated with it, please go ahead and subscribe. It's the very first video on this channel, so I would love to see some engagement. If you did find this reading and you found it helpful, it would be amazing to hear from you. I love to interact with people on social media. I have found that it's a really great way to connect with like-minded individuals seeking the same kind of information. So thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.